Who in the world did the Charlotte Hornets select with the 6th pick?
Let me take you to a place where we never can be found. On the edge of Carolina where the sun come out of the ground. No nobody, just nobody, only broken hearts allowed. Right outside of Savannah, about an hour from the town.
Hello everyone, it's Everything But City here, back again with another video. And before we get into the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. How do you feel about the pick? I will get into my thoughts on it in a second, but at the 6th pick, we don't trade down, we don't do anything. We take our guy, TIDJAUNE SALAUN. TIDJAUNE SALAUN. He's a power forward out of France. I believe he averaged 9 points, 4 rebounds, 40% from the field, about 32% from 3. Not insane numbers, but again, this is EuroLeague overseas basketball. The numbers aren't going to be very pretty. For a lot of prospects, it never really is, unless you're like Luka, right? First off, let's get into the pick itself, and then we'll get into the player, as I have done a little bit of research on who he is and what you guys can expect from him next year and maybe in the next few years. I feel like it was a little bit of a reach. I don't feel like Salon was a top 6 prospect in this draft, but I do understand going out and getting your guy. He has probably some of the best physical attributes in the draft, or one of the best. Super athletic. Well, not super athletic, but he's pretty athletic. He's not like a Kai Jones or anything like that, but he's going to be one of our more athletic big guys on the roster. High motor, so he has a high work ethic. He wants to get good. He wants to produce for the team. And I think it was more of finding a guy who fits what you want, right? Was more of what Jeff Peterson was doing. But I do have question marks for Jeff because he does come from the Nets organization, and the Nets have had very questionable selections. Noah Clowney last year barely got any run. They were playing a 2nd round pick, right? He comes from that. I know he wasn't the GM, but still, the Nets have had questionable picks over the last few years. Dariq Whitehead, another guy, I know he got hurt, but still, they've had some questionable picks over their years. So hopefully, this is a good pick. Hopefully. I do feel like he would have still been there if you traded down with Memphis a lot. Real quick before I get into my main point, something that Trust the Buzz said that kind of changed my perception of the pick. I just got out of the shower, so sorry. The hair is not the greatest. But is that if we would have traded down with Memphis, who's to say the San Antonio Spurs don't take Salon at 8? And there you miss out on the guy that you want. And obviously Portland wouldn't really provide a really good offer just to move up one spot, right? Maybe a 2nd, maybe something like that. And yeah, maybe you could have done that, but I also understand just sitting there, taking your guy. What's the difference of 1 or 2 picks? When you're still going to take them anyways. You know, so I kind of understand it, and it does change my perspective of the draft pick, and I kind of feel more better about it. Does change the way I feel on it. Interested to see how he's able to do, but continue to watch the video. But just know that my opinion isn't as stern or as negative on Memphis to get Klingon. I think you could have got him at 9. They didn't like the package, I guess. But anyways, let's get into the player itself. He was a really good cutter this year. Shot about 70% on cuts around the rim, 29 for 41. He's always cutting. It's really impressive to watch because he has a good feel for when to cut, and that's really important in terms of basketball. He uses like coming out from the wing on like offensive rebounds. He knows what area to attack. He knows an open lane and he goes for it and he gets the board, right? So I like that. So high motor. Again, solid rebounder. He grabbed 6.6% of offensive rebounds, so that was really good. averaged 1.24 offensive rebounds per game, which is also really good. He's going to come in and grab around a rebound, one offensive rebound a game or every 2 games, right? So I like that hustle. 56.3% on putbacks. That's 18 for 32. Not the greatest, but it's there. He's extremely athletic. He's a guy you're going to put at the 3. You're going to put him in the dunker spot. And I honestly think he can go from the 3, and then he's so great on cuts. He's so great at grabbing alley-oops and jamming them down. He has a great feel for the game. I know that's used so many times, but I really, for this kind of prospect at 18 years old, that's what you're looking for. Runs the lanes. Great player in transition. I believe he was 57.4%, 35 for 61. Now, taking into account about half of those would have been 3-point shots, but in total around the rim, he was 66.7% on transition, 28 for 42. So he's a guy you're going to be able to run with Brandon Miller, with LaMelo Ball, and I believe our coach, Charles Lee, wants to run a fast-paced offense because that's when this team is best. So fits the scheme of what they want to do. Shooting upside, I love his form. I think he has good form. He had 10 games where he had 3+ 3-pointers made. Has very confident. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad because he takes questionable threes, maybe a little bit too long for his range or a bad 3-point shot. But you love the confidence. I love the shooting form. It's going to get better. I believe he could be a 36% 3-point shooter, high 30s, maybe a 40, something like that. He's just really young. He's just really raw. He's just really, really raw. And again, I get the questioning of the 6th pick. I get it. He's a little raw for me at 6. But you got to look at the prospect, right? If you have your guy there, you have to take him. If you don't like the other offers, trade down. On catch and shoot, I believe this is catch and shoot threes. He was 34%, 61 for 180, 38% unguarded. So you see, it's not great, but when he's given time and he has space, and I know it's the pros, it's a different level, but he shot around 38 to 40%. So interested to see how that improves over the next few years. He has good movement without the ball. I saw them use a lot of pin downs, off-ball screens, let him get the ball, or even without a screen, he's just moving. He's moving a ton, and allows him to get wide open 3-point attempts, right? Sometimes if the defense isn't really locked in, he's a great movement player, right? And for a 4, that's something to think on, right? If he can get the shooting down, that's going to be nasty. Also, I believe he does have defensive upside. The numbers aren't there. He only averaged like a steal a game, and he even averaged 1 block a game. But he had a 25% steal rate. He anticipates passing lanes. That's the biggest thing for him. I love his anticipation. Plays really high to the ball, and he's really aggressive defensively, and it leads to steals and leads to easy points. Good defense, creating good offense. So he's a really long player. So it causes the shooter to have to adjust because he's jumping so high, and it's a great contest. So I like that from him. He's a good rebounder on both sides. He's not going to be grabbing like 12 a game. You know, that's not his game. But he plays his role pretty well. So I think he's solid on offense and defensive rebounding. Has had flashes of intriguing playmaking. I like it, but this is where the weaknesses come in. These are where you're going to have to be patient because it was rare. Because most of the time, he was making a bad read. Most of the time, it was sloppy. It was a turnover, right? It was question marks. He could not put the ball on the floor at all. And that includes playmaking and just attacking the rim, right? If you ask him to go more than two basic dribbles, that's about it. That's about all he has for you, or he's getting stripped. He also lacks an inside finish. Saw a lot of film of where he just struggled to finish inside, finish through a contact. He just kind of throws it up there, and that's something that's going to have to be improved for a big man. I expect you to be able to finish inside, and those are some question marks. He has a lot of question marks, y'all. He has a lot of question marks. There's a lot of things where you're looking at anything into the future, but as today, right now, as a player, he is not where he needs to be. And I'm interested to see how he improves, because 6th pick, I expect it. I expect improvement. For me, I just had a little fun grades. I gave him the 3.5 to 4-star prospect grade. 6.5 out of 10 pick for me. There's a lot of question marks. And the fit, I really don't understand. You know, Miles Bridges, if he comes back, right? Grant Williams, Poku, you know, you got a lot of guys there. The 4, I wanted a guy who was kind of versatile. And he is versatile. He is a versatile player. But right now, he's specifically a 4. He can guard a little bit of 5. And hopefully, as he grows a little bit, he can go out and guard a little bit of those 3s. But not really the versatile player where he has a strength that will help this team. I gave him a 77 grade. I think it was solid prospect. We'll see how he does. There's nothing else you can do. But TIDJAUNE SALAUN, you are a Charlotte Hornet, so welcome to Buzz City. We will bring you in with open arms, as we do with everyone. At least I try to. Anyways, this is everything Buzz City. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video with a friend. You already know the drill. I'm out. Peace, guys.